Welcome back, everyone, to the deep dive. You know how it is. We all want to get to the heart of the matter, right? No time to waste. So today we're diving deep into something really central in Islam. We're talking about kindness, how we treat each other. It's everywhere in the teachings.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, just look at all this material. Verses from the Quran, hadiths, and tons of interpretations. It's amazing how much emphasis is put on kindness.
It really is. So let's try and figure this out. What's the core of this idea of kindness in Islam? Where do we even start with all of this?
Well, I think the Quran's got to be our starting point, right? It's the foundation of everything.
Makes sense to me. So any verses that really stood out to you when you were going through all this?
Definitely. Surah Al-Baqarah, the second chapter, verse 83, I think it is. It's really powerful. It connects being kind to, like, your parents, family, orphans, the needy, all of that, to worshiping God, which is, the biggest thing in Islam. And it even says to, speak good words to people.
So it's not just about what you do, it's how you talk to people too.
Exactly. And it's not like this separate thing, kindness. It's like baked into the whole idea of being a Muslim.
I see. So it's not just about being good in your own little bubble. It's about how you treat everyone around you.
Exactly. And then you got Surah An-Nisa, chapter 4. This one broadens it even more. It's not just family. It's neighbors, friends, travelers, anyone you're responsible for. And it ties kindness to being humble, not bragging or anything.
That makes sense. Like, if you think you're better than everyone else, how can you really be kind to them?
Yeah, that's the point. Then there's Surah Al-Imran, the third chapter. This one's really interesting. It talks about Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and how gentle he was, and how important it was that he talked to people kindly and had a compassionate heart. That's how he built the first Muslim community.
It almost seems like it's saying that's the best way to lead, by being kind and compassionate.
Right. It even says to forgive people, even when they mess up. Really powerful stuff.
It's like leading with understanding instead of punishment.
Yeah, definitely. And there are other verses too, like in Surah Isra, the 17th chapter. This was all about being kind to your parents. It's like a huge deal, second only to worshiping God. And it talks about speaking to them respectfully, like really choosing your words carefully.
Oh, I get it. It's about more than just, taking care of them practically. It's about really honoring them and how you talk to them.
Exactly. And then Surah Hujurat, the 49th chapter, it says that believers are brothers and sisters. So if you're fighting or have problems, you got to try to make peace. But you can't do that without kindness, right?
It's like that's the basis for any kind of reconciliation. You got to have that understanding and compassion.
And then this one really blows my mind. Surah Fussilat, chapter 41. This verse says that if you respond to bad stuff with good stuff, like kindness, you can turn your enemies into friends. Think about that.
That's amazing. It's like your kindness can completely change a situation, turn it around totally. Okay, so we've talked a lot about the Quran, the foundation, but there's also the hadiths, right? The prophet's sayings and actions. What do they tell us about kindness?
Oh man, the hadiths are full of stuff about kindness. They give us like a deeper look into how to actually live this principle. It's not just an idea, it's about putting it into practice.
Right, so it's one thing to say be kind, but how do you actually do it?
Exactly. There's this one, it's in Sunan at-Tirmidhi. It says, the merciful are shown mercy by the most merciful. Be merciful on the earth and you'll get mercy from above.
I've heard that one. It's about that whole what goes around comes around kind of thing, right?
Yeah, but more than that, it's saying kindness brings you closer to God. It's like a spiritual thing too.
So it's not just about feeling good, it's about something bigger.
Exactly. And there are other hadiths too. Like one says, none of you will truly believe until you want for your brother what you want for yourself. That's in Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim.
Wow, that's a high bar. Like really deeply wanting the best for others, just like you want it for yourself.
Yeah, no kidding. It's not just about being nice. It's about really caring about other people.
Like true empathy is not just surface level politeness.
Right. And another hadith, this is from Sahih Bukhari, says, kindness makes everything beautiful. If you take it away, everything becomes ugly.
Kindness is the magic ingredient that makes everything better. It makes life more beautiful.
And then there's this one from Sahih Muslim. It says, God is kind, and he loves kindness in everything. Like kindness is part of God's nature.
So if you want to be closer to God, you've got to be kind.
Exactly. It's not just about being good to people. It's about reflecting God's own kindness in your actions.
I see. So any other hadiths that really stuck with you?
Oh, tons. There's this one, it's a classic, about a woman, she wasn't exactly living a righteous life, let's just say, but she gave water to a thirsty dog. And because of that one act of kindness, she was forgiven. It's in Sahih Bukhari.
So it doesn't matter who you are or what you've done, Kindness matters. It can change everything.
Exactly. And there's one that says a true believer is kind and gracious. If you're not those things, it's like something's missing. It's in Sunan at-Tirmidhi.
It's like being kind is part of your identity as a Muslim.
Exactly. It's not just something you do sometimes. It's who you are.
I see. So anything else?
Oh, yeah. This one's short and sweet. It says, even smiling is charity. It's in Sahih Muslim. So, even the little things count.
Makes you think about how much kindness you can fit into a day, right? If even smiling counts.
Exactly. It's the little things that add up. Oh, and this one's important too. Actions are judged by intentions. That's in Sahih Bukhari. It means your kindness has to be sincere. You can't be doing it just to show off or get something in return.
It's got to come from the heart.
Exactly. And of course, the best example of all is Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him himself. The Quran actually describes him as a mercy to the worlds. His whole life was about kindness and compassion.
Like he was living proof of what it means to be kind.
Exactly. There's this hadith, it's in Sahih al-Bukhari. It says you should help your brother, whether he's doing wrong or being wronged.
How do you help someone who's doing wrong?
Well, the idea is you guide them away from the wrong. That's the real help.
It's like helping them be a better person. Kind of tough love, I guess.
Exactly. And there are stories about the Prophet, peace be upon him, being affectionate with children, like kissing his grandkids. And there's a warning that says those who show no mercy will receive no mercy. That's in Sahih al-Bukhari too.
So kindness starts young. You got to teach kids how to be kind.
Yeah, and it applies to everyone. Young, old, everyone.
Everyone deserves kindness.
Exactly. And there's this hadith, it's in Al-Jami's As-Saghir. It says the best people are the ones who help others. So like your worth is measured by how much good you do in the world.
It's not about what you have, it's about what you give.
Right on. And the Prophet, peace be upon him, he forgave his enemies after he conquered Mecca. I mean, can you imagine? That's serious kindness.
It's like the ultimate example of strength, to be able to forgive like that.
Yeah, total forgiveness. And he was even kind to people outside of Islam. There's stories about him helping a Jewish neighbor and warnings against being cruel to non-Muslims. That's in Sunan Abi Dawud.
Well, it's not just about being kind to your own people, it's about everyone.
Exactly. Kindness has no limits. And to bring it all back, there's this hadith, it's in Sunan at-Tirmidhi, it says, show mercy to those on earth, and the one above the heavens will show mercy to you.
It's like a call to action. Be kind to everyone, and God will be kind to you.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about a ton of stuff here. Verses from the Quran, hadiths, all these examples of kindness. What does it all mean? What's the big picture?
Well, it's pretty clear that kindness is a big deal in Islam. It's not just like a suggestion. It's a core principle, rooted in divine mercy, Rahmah.
Right. We see words like Ihsan, which is about doing good in the best way possible, and Rif, which is about gentleness. It's like kindness is not just one thing, it's all of this together.
Exactly. And Rahmah, that's a huge concept in Islam. It's about God's immense compassion and love. So kindness, it flows from that. And like you said, Ihsan and Rif, they add to this idea. It's not just about being kind. It's about doing it with excellence, with gentleness. It's about embodying those qualities. And it's not optional. It's part of worshiping God. It's about making society better.
So when you're kind, you're not just doing something nice, you're actually reflecting God's own nature.
That's a really good way to put it. And, all these acts of kindness, they make you a better person too. They purify your heart. And it's not just about people, it's about all of creation. Animals, the environment, everything.
It's about recognizing that everything is interconnected.
And when kindness spreads, the whole community benefits. It brings people together. It's the opposite of division and conflict.
It's like the antidote to all the negativity in the world.
Exactly.
So let's get practical. How do we take all of this and actually live it? What can people do in their everyday lives to be kinder?
Well, first you got to understand other people. Put yourself in their shoes. That's empathy. That's the basis for real kindness.
You got to see the world through other people's eyes.
Exactly. And then you got to make a conscious effort to be kind every single day in what you say and what you do. Even small things matter.
It's about making it a habit, not just something you do when you feel like it.
Exactly. And remember what we said about intentions. Your kindness has to be sincere. It can't be fake. It's got to come from the right place.
It's about the why behind the what.
Right. So what can people actually do? Well, get involved in your community, volunteer, donate to charity, help people who are struggling.
Be a good neighbor.
Exactly. And watch how you talk to people. Use kind words. Be encouraging. Be respectful. Even when you disagree with someone.
Words have power.
They do. And be there for people when they need you. Offer support. Listen to them. Give them a hug if they need it.
Be a shoulder to cry on.
Exactly. And in your own family, be patient, be understanding, forgive each other. Family's important, you know.
Family's everything.
And at work, treat your colleagues with respect. Create a good environment where everyone feels valued.
A positive work environment where everyone can thrive.
Exactly. I remember, kindness isn't just about big things. Sometimes it's about smiling at someone, speaking gently, visiting someone who's sick. These things matter too.
It's the small things that often make the biggest difference.
Right, so we've talked about what kindness is and how to practice it. But there are some misunderstandings about kindness that we need to address.
Like what?
Well, some people think kindness is weak, that you're a pushover if you're kind. But that's not true at all. Real strength comes from being compassionate and forgiving. It's way harder to be kind when someone's wrong with you than to be angry.
It takes more strength to forgive than to hold a grudge.
Exactly. And some people think you only have to be kind to people you like, or people who are like you. But that's not what Islam teaches. Kindness is for everyone, no matter who they are, what they believe, where they come from.
It's about recognizing the inherent worth of every human being.
Right, and some people think that being kind means letting people walk all over you, that you can't stand up for what's right. But that's not true either. You can be kind and still be just. You can be compassionate and still hold people accountable.
It's about finding that balance between compassion and justice.
Exactly. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he showed us that true kindness takes strength. He forgave his enemies. That's a powerful example.
A testament to the power of forgiveness.
And it's important to remember that kindness is for everyone. The Quran and the Hadiths, they make that clear. It doesn't matter what your religion is, or if you have no religion, everyone deserves kindness.
It's a universal value.
Exactly. And in the end, kindness and justice, they go hand in hand. They're not opposites. They work together to make a better world.
They complement each other.
Right.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what are the key things you want our listeners to remember?
Well, kindness is more than just a nice idea. It's at the heart of Islam. It reflects God's mercy. It's how we show our love for God and for each other. It makes us better people. And it has the power to change the world.
It's a powerful force for good.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for taking this deep dive with us. This has been really eye-opening.
It's been my pleasure.
And to all of you listening, think about this. What if you made a conscious effort to be a little bit kinder every day? How would that change your life? How would it change the lives of the people around you? It might seem like a small thing, but kindness has a ripple effect. It can spread and touch so many lives, so go out there and be kind. You might be surprised at the difference it made.